Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season 8 finale of Big Brother Disney Pixar. Here before us, we have our incredible final two of Evan and Robertoria here to tell you and get grilled by the jury on why they deserve to win this season of Big Brother Disney. And I could not be more excited to watch, and I hope that you are too. In normal BB Disney fashion, we will have opening and closing statements, obviously, from our finalists. Those will be 5 minutes each. We will bring our jurors in one at a time in the order they have decided, and they will have 10 minutes. Again, if you don't use all of your time at anyone, whether that be jury or finalist, that's okay. You just let us know when you're done. But that is your maximum allotted time, and Timmy will cut you off. So with that being said, let's get into it. One last time. Since Robertoria won the final head of household, they decided the order of opening and closing statements, and they decided to go first for opening. So without further ado, Robertoria, take it on over for your 5 minutes, which will start when you start talking.
Let's start rolling then. So hey, we're Robertoria. Victoria and I both, given the situation, we each have a little bit we want to say about our pre-jury, and then we want to come together for our post-jury game when the resurrection of we were. So I would say, like, I entered this game first couple weeks, I was always in a really weird spot, headspace. Just I'm gonna spare you all the details. We've all had to hash this out, so many times, but it was rough, right? It was rough. I did have a really solid alliance inside out crew with Christy, Andrew, Rose, Molly, and I felt pretty good, but still I was nominated twice. And on that first live night, my second time being nominated, failed to win veto, and my butt got yeeted out of here. But I got to come back as the one half of Robertoria. So my better half, I'll let you tell a little bit about your pre-jury.
Yes, thank you, Robert, first and foremost. I had a similar experience as Robert. I constantly felt like I was at the bottom, and first week into the game, I didn't have an alliance to depend on. In the balloon challenge, I was quickly the first one out, and then I saw myself on the block and subsequently evicted. We all know that some type of twist was coming and that our evictions weren't completely set in stone. And after the first live night, I became half of Robertoria as well.
So then we kind of came into this game as Robertoria, and I felt like our game really represented resiliency just based on what happened in the previous rounds as separate players. Like, we both had really rough starts to this game, being targeted for whatever variety of reasons. But after the first live night, it was go time. We not only had to work hard and play hard as players, but we really had to kind of like get to know each other, know what connections I had, know what connections she had, and see what we could weave together. So while it was challenging, right, we neither of us could make any of the moves that we wanted to make because we had to make sure that the other one was happy, right? I always say happy wife, happy life, and I took that mantra into this game. And so, once the jury phrase started going, we really just started navigating it. We formed a really strong alliance called the Uzma Kappa Alliance with Molly, with Andrew, and with Rose. And thanks to one of our members, Molly, we actually got to feel safe during that time. And it was great. And we kind of just were able to pick off people that we didn't feel strong with, didn't know. And during that time, also, we really established a strong relationship with Evan because he kind of had a similar start to us too, being nominated early on in the game. And, as this rounds went on and on, we got to a really tough spot at final 6, and we saw two of our really strong allies up against each other. Nobody likes voting out their allies. It sucks, but we had to make the moves that was best for our game. Then come final 5, final 4, both times we found ourselves on the block, but we were able to be safe by the relationships and the friendships and, the strategy that we played. And then we hit final 3 and it was go time. That final comp was great. It was fun. It's always fun to win, right? It's great, but we still had to make difficult moves to take out players that knew would beat us. They were sitting here. So just shout out to Rose, like all of us in this game, Evan included, loved you, and not an easy decision. But like I said, our game, it was really focused on resiliency, being resilient players, coming together, working hard. And yeah, we were both voted out individually as players, right? But hey, we came back as this duo and we were able to kick some butt and see ourselves here at the final two. So I think we're both excited for any questions that you guys have, any comments you have, anything. I think both of us are open books. And honestly, we're also just really excited to see you guys again. Like it's, you get into these mind spaces, with these games, and it's been fun. It'll be great to see you all. So with that, I'm gonna turn it on over to Evan.
Okay. So wow. Coming into this game, I was really nervous. I didn't have a ton of confidence with myself right away, but I decided that I wanted to come in and take risks and really just do what I had to do to get to the end. I came in knowing no one. I had zero pregame connections, which made me really nervous because right off the bat, I knew that there were a lot of people that had either played games with each other or knew each other or were friends and had met up or outside of the game, whatever. But I decided the first night that I was going to stick my neck out there and volunteer to be the leader. I was the only one out of 15 of us to do it. And I used that power in first HOH to really integrate myself into the entire cast and make sure that I could really rely on my social connections to carry me throughout the game. Right off the bat, I wanted to connect with Robert because he was the other leader. So I wanted to ensure my safety initially. I also formed really good connections with everybody on my original Pizza Planet group. And in doing so, it just would give me better odds in the upcoming weeks. With the week one nominations, I wanted to not make as many waves, but I also had a core alliance of me, Ali, and Angela, which I really spent the early rounds just all of us just collected information for each other. And I knew about a lot of alliances that were going on. Going into week two, I found myself on the block, which was not ideal, but I still felt confident in the connections that I had made early on. And I used those to my advantage and reassured people. And really, just part of my strategy was relating to people on a personal level so that I could make real connections, but also use those in the game to make people feel comfortable with me going forward. And when it came to being on the block, I stayed unanimously, and that is the only time that I was ever on the block the whole season. And I can say that I'm the only person that never had a single vote cast against them this entire game. And going on from there, I lost my ride or die alley from outside forces that I had no control over. And I felt like for a while I was watching my friends just leave all in a row with Lauren, Ali, Victoria, Robert. But I still fought really hard to keep the people that I knew would be good for my game. Like when Angela was on the block against Victoria, I rallied really hard to get the votes for her to stay. And when Molly was in jeopardy during the live night, I made sure to always use power that I had in a way that I could calculate it going forward that it would protect me. So taking her off the block really set me up in a great position going into the jury phase. And going into the jury phase, I decided that since I didn't necessarily have a ride or die at that point, that I needed to change my strategy and just become the ultimate floater. And that no matter what happened or who got power or who got HOH, I needed to make sure that I had big targets ahead of me and also make sure that no matter who got it, I had a good social relationship with them, that they wouldn't see me as a threat. And this is, at this point in the game, this is already winning a few comps and making some moves of my own. Going forward, I lost what was my final two at the time, Angela, which was really hard because at that point, I once again just felt defeated because I had lost my other closest core alliance member that for outside forces that I couldn't control. But all the love to you, Angela. But I also made sure that I was really close to Robertoria and Molly. I also had connections with Andrew, Rose, and Ingrid, and other people on the jury like Trevor, that I had a secret thing going with him just in case he were to win. I always had a backup plan no matter what happened. And I think that really shows as why I was never nominated once the entire jury phase. I had people win HOH that would tell me that I wasn't even an option for them. That is how well integrated I used my power in this game to carry me throughout. And it was a wild ride, and I'm really excited to hear all your questions and be able to explain my game, because I fought so hard to get here.
All right, amazing opening speeches. We are just waiting for the first juror to join the waiting room, and then we will let them in, and their 10 minutes will start whenever they get here and start talking.
That was an awesome speech, Evan. Really good job with that. That was really good.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
You guys did good too. I'm rooting for us both.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing, when it's like you can be happy both ways, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, our first juror is joining. Welcome, Ingrid.
Hello, hello. So I guess
Hi.
this time is mine. Hi, friends.
Ingrid,
Congratulations.
Ingrid, I will be giving you a 5-minute and a 1-minute warning.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations on being where everybody wanted to be. So I have one big question, and then I do want to say little bits. Evan, I want to say your speech has given me a lot of enlightenment as to who you were as a player, in a way that I don't think that I knew before, despite feeling as close to you as I did. I would like to quickly, I wasn't really planning on saying this, but I'm going to anyway. I want to know more about what was going through your head when it was your decision to evict me, at the time that you did, and how much your loyalty actually lied with me versus other players, because you played a better version of the game that I was trying to play, which was the ultimate floater game. And so I just want to hear a little bit about that, and then I will address Robertoria after you answer that question.
Yeah. So I definitely did see us as a pair, and I knew that that decision with the veto would be vital. So how I was looking at it was, you had taken out what everybody had perceived as the biggest threat to win. And I felt like we were playing similar games when it came to floating. And I didn't have a huge player like that on my resume like you did. And I also felt like the jury probably tied me and Robertoria and Molly into a similar how they all felt about us. So I felt like if I were sitting next to you, especially after taking out one of the biggest players, that I would not have a fair shot. And
Yes.
also taking you out, I felt like gave me a lot better chance to get to final three, because I felt like Rose would 100% evict me over you. And if she were to win, I felt like it gave me more of a chance of staying. And I also knew that Robertoria had in their head that they felt like they could never beat Rose. So I felt like I had better odds with them, like 2 out of 3 to 3 out of 3, like almost guaranteed at the end. And that it was nothing personal. I loved getting to play this game with you.
I appreciate that answer a lot. Robertoria, congratulations as well for being where you are, especially with your humble beginnings, I will say. I really enjoyed some of the conversations we were able to have, and things of that nature. I do want to say, and I think you will hear this from other jurors as well, we are a little concerned about how much in the forefront Robert has been of the two of you. We believe that we know more about Robert's thoughts and Robert's feelings than as much of Victoria's thought process and her voice. And we don't know if that was just that like you were the spokesperson for the two of you, or if like we just want to see, just going forward, as you answer these questions, how Victoria's assets were also used as much as Robert's were, when considering a winner for the season, because we want to feel good about giving your partnership those votes. So I just wanted to kind of give you that heads up before the rest of the jury comes in. But I do have a question that I'm going to open to both of you. You may have experienced this question in another game at some point, but it is something where you will not have to speak, but you will close your eyes, all three of you. And I am going to, if I can find the list before I lose my mind, I am going to say each juror's name in order, and I'm going to ask you to raise your hand with your eyes closed if you believe going in that this person could potentially vote for you to win. So let me just pull up that list so that I'm not missing people by accident.
And you want me to do it too, you said?
Yes, I want all three of you to give your answers. Hey, Austin, can you real quick help me?
Yeah, I am.
So that I can see them.
The cat from
Thank you.
Close.
Oh, no, thank you. It wouldn't be me on BB Disney without my fiance and my cat. So
I mean, she's stealing my jury question.
it is. This is his favorite jury question to ask, and I love it. So I want to have my own time to use it.
How am I supposed to help you? What am I doing?
Here, let me.
I can't pull up a thing or anything.
Let me send you the technical difficulties. This is why we have 10 minutes. I understand now.
In case your cat's trying to hijack your time.
He is. He's being a menace, but we wouldn't have it any other way. I'm trying to find the Google Doc so I can send it
Ingrid,
to
you said to raise your hand if what again?
If you think that person will vote for you to win. So like if you think that person will vote for Robertoria to win.
Give me the list of jurors. I'll take a picture of it on my phone. There you go. I got it now. We can start.
All right. So, all right, now I can see everybody. So close your eyes. I appreciate the hand over the eyes, Robert. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. No peekings. Raise your hand if you think you have my vote to win tonight. All right. Raise your hand if you think you have Adam's vote to win tonight. All right. Raise your hand if you think you have Trevor's vote to win tonight. All right. Raise your hand if you think you have Crispy's vote to win tonight. All right. Raise your hand if you think you have Angela's vote to win tonight. All right. Raise your hand if you think you have Grace's vote to win tonight. All right. Raise your hand if you think you have Molly's vote to win tonight. All right. Raise your hand if you think you have Rose's vote to win tonight. All right. And lastly, raise your hand if you think you have Andrew's vote to win tonight. All right, you can open your eyes. Once again, congratulations for being where you are. You have done what the rest of us can't. And even if some of us are a little grumpy about it, you have that over us. So it's going to be, I love all three of you. And I am super excited to get to be friends after this game and continue to get to know each other. So yeah, congratulations on being there. That's all you are getting from me. And good luck with the rest of these people.
Thanks, Ingrid. Good
Mwah.
seeing
Love you guys.
Love you, Ingrid.
And with that, we welcome our next juror, Trevor. Welcome, Trevor. Your 10 minutes start when you start talking.
Oh God, I gotta mute things. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
First of all, I want to say congratulations to you both for doing what we couldn't do. Making it to the end. I always want to start that way. So whenever I am a juror, what I do is I like to give you guys a little insight on like what we might be looking for, what the jury kind of thinks so far. I will start with that, and then I can get into my specific questions. So first off, what the vibe kind of is that tonight is very big. Not to put more pressure on you guys, but I would say that there are several live votes tonight, including mine potentially. But we'll have to see once my questions come in. You know, it's interesting because I feel like people want to know more, not necessarily about your like strategic games, but they want to see you own moves that you did. Do not give false delusions of grandeur that make you sound like a hero, that make you sound like you were always in the right. You know, show us like you made this move, you made X move to take out Y person because it was good for my game, and that's why. Not, oh well, I try to take a back seat and like being vague. Like, we are not going to like that. Be confident. And I will give a fair warning that we'll see how these questionings go with some future jurors, but yeah, just own your games is the warning I will give you guys. Okay, I have a couple questions. I think more so for Evan than Robert Torre, and then I have some for both. I'll get to that last. So Evan, you had a lot of like one-on-ones, like not necessarily final twos, but unless you think they would be final twos, but a lot of like one-on-one relationships that you felt like you could get you far. Can you tell me the three closest you had this season?
So I was really close to Allie. I don't want to say her though, just because it was so early on. But the three closest that I felt were Angela, Molly, and Ingrid.
Okay. Yeah, short and sweet. Honestly, that's a fair answer. So my next question is, I guess this will be answered by Victoria later potentially, but so you said that Molly was one of your closest people. When were you planning on? First, let me ask this: were you thinking of taking Molly to the end at any point in this game?
It was a thought that I had thought about. I thought that we had played closely together, but I also thought that when it came socially, that I had a lot more social connections and branched out to more people. So I felt that when it came to, well, I remember people talking about how they felt like when they got voted out that there was just, no question, and nobody wanted to really give them an opportunity of why they should stay. And I felt like a lot of that was implied toward Molly. So even though she had won 3 HOHs, I felt that with the moves that I made outside of working with her and with all of my social connections, I felt that I still would have a good chance. But it wasn't like a concrete thing, because in the back of my mind, I always knew that at some point Robertoria and Molly would probably need to be split up.
Okay. So do you feel like you were like the third wheel, so to speak, of the Molly Robertoria alliance?
I think that is how I was perceived at certain points. I don't know. I don't think it's completely accurate, because I think at certain points, Molly and I were pretty close.
Okay. Yeah, we can do this one first. So I will start with Robertoria and then go back to Evan for the both questions, and I think I'll have like 1 or 2 more after that. So final 6, Robertoria. I guess you can both answer. Oh, I only have 5 minutes. Someone could take that question because I want to get to other things. All right. Evan, I know I'm grilling you, but I only have 5 minutes.
Okay.
I don't mean to be grilling you.
No, you're fine.
But now I mean to be grilling you. So, Evan, I will tell you, since you're sitting next to the person that told me this, on my way out, I was on a call with Robert, and Robert told me that you were going around the house saying that there was a pregame alliance. Is that true, or what was that? Or let's just start with it. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. And it wasn't necessarily in a way of I knew for sure if it was true. I was trying to push any narrative that I could to get the people out that I didn't really have a great use for. And I saw connections in the game through you, Crispy, Grace, and Adam. And that 4 specifically scared me. And whether all of you were close or not, there was some truth to you and Grace being close, or Grace and Adam being close, or whatever it may be. So I took that as a narrative to try to influence the people that had power when I couldn't make the specific move myself.
Okay, so it was a attack on people that you. When did this start?
I started it when Adam was on the block. So it was right at final 11, yeah.
Okay. Because I have been told that like there was something on Facebook that you saw, and that's kind of how things started.
Well, kind of like people would friend me and then stuff would pop up. Like I would never actively search for anything, but I would just kind of stumble on stuff and be like, oh, so they've like known each other. And it wasn't like, oh, they're for sure working together, but I was like, okay, well, I can use this to my advantage, because at that point in the game, I knew for sure that I had Robertoria and Molly and Angela, but I still wasn't super confident with how strong some of my other connections were. So anything I could do to push the targets on other people, I wanted to do.
Okay, I'll stop on that, because trust me, you're gonna get a lot of questions about that. Robertoria, I guess this is more of a question for Victoria. And this, granted, this is more of a personal thing. It did upset me that like you and I, like in the beginning, you and I didn't have much relationship, and then I felt like after the comp where you and I went for an hour, like you and I would talk more, and everything. So and we talked a lot of personal stuff. It takes a lot for me to open up about like my religious journey. So when I opened up to you about that, I felt like this is like a big moment for me just to talk about it. And then like that was fine, everything was good. And then you're on the block, and I'm like, I was like, legitimately, I will let you know what happens, because I don't know, because 30 minutes before the eviction, I found out that the vote might be flipping, so then I had to talk to Adam, and then we were the swing vote, so that we had to kind of decide like last second of what we were going to do. So my question is, and then the next thing I know, you're evicted and you say, oh, Trevor's the puppet master, Trevor's the one running this game. And then after that, like, I know you sent a message, but which was nice, but it's still like, I don't know, that hurt me. And then you just didn't really talk to me afterward very much. It was just kind of me and Robert in that chat talking. So my question is, like, was there a reason you cut me off talking to me at all, or what was going on with that?
First and foremost, I want to say I'm sorry that you felt hurt. And in the conversation, I said, beware Trevor, and I meant that as a compliment. I do not recall saying anything about you being a pup. I mean, I think in the text I might have said something along those lines, but I meant it as a compliment because I definitely thought you could have made it to the end. And
All right, that is all the time we have for Trevor. Trevor, thank you so much, and we will be sending you back to the jury.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Bye, Trevor. Thank you.
Hi, Trevor.
We're just waiting for the next juror to join the Zoom.
All right, and with that, welcome our next juror, Adam. Adam, your 10 minutes starts when you start talking, and we will give you a 5-minute and a 1-minute warning in the Zoom chat.
Hello guys, congratulations on making it to the final two. Like a lot of people have said before, tonight is going to be very, very important to decide. Tonight, really, like there's no better way to phrase it. So make sure every answer you're giving is clear, it's concise, and it's talking about your game and talking about your game open and honestly, because that's what all of us want to hear, is you talking about your game with honesty. Evan, in your opening speech, you talked about how a big part of your game was having conversations with people, having one-on-ones, and getting to know people on a personal level, which I can definitely respect. I definitely like to try to do that when I'm in games. We're all people. On that note, can you tell me 3 things that you learned about me in this game on a personal level?
3 things. Yeah, I would love to. Well, I mean, it's hard to ignore your backpack collection. That was just always like a standout thing. You always had a lot of spunk when we talked, and I know we had talked about like a certain website that we both were on at the beginning of the game that I don't want to bring up because I'm not trying to give them clout, but I know we talked about your boyfriend at different points. It feels so crazy because it's I feel like it's been such a long time, and when it comes to like game relationships, I feel like we didn't really start really getting to know each other up until you were HOH and then the next round voted out. But yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. Robertoria, I would like y'all to do the same thing, but I want each of you to answer this individually. So Robert, you can start.
Yeah. The Loungefly backpack thing I thought was really cool. I felt like we didn't really link up, I think, like strategically until the Robertoria resurrection. But pre that, like I remember you telling me that you did VIP tours at Universal and you knew my friend Kyle Brewer, which I thought was super cool. I know that we would always talk about Orlando stuff and like, hey, like maybe you should work for Disney. And you were like, well, I got an annual pass, and it was fun talking about just like how you were like, oh, I've thought about it, but I don't want to get worked to death. And I was like, retweet, been there, done that. You had mentioned too about your boyfriend and how you guys have been together for a while. And I thought that was really cool because I believe you're 21, correct? And I just think, young love's always really cool. Yeah, like I felt like those are the things that always stood out to me. And I liked those, like learning about those things and just learning about you. And you work at the Hulk Culture. I actually thought of you because I'm in Orlando right now and I dropped someone off at Universal. But yeah, those are all like the big things that came out to me. And I know like we didn't really chat too much when I was Robert, but we did get to, chat a little bit more when we were at the Robert Toria aspect. But
Thank
those
you.
are Robert's isms. I'll pass off to the better half.
Adam, can you please restate the question?
So I just want to know 3 things that you learned about me.
Okay, so I remember when I first watched the video to reiterate what Robert and Evan said about the backpacks. I remember we had good conversations about the backpacks and how you said you have sold them in the past. And I remember we had a conversation about like scalpers, and you said something about how you're not a scalper. And I never meant to call you a scalper. I wasn't saying you were a scalper.
Oh no, yeah, I remember that.
I was like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like, like and you said you're a businessman, and you're completely right. You're a businessman. Like, get the coin.
Cool. Thank you. I do want to touch on real quick. Evan, we said we are going to talk about it. I want to know. I heard a little bit about where your head out was when talking about this pre-made game relationship, but from sitting in the jury and seeing people come in, that is what I was hearing back to back to back on one of the big reasons why people took me out, because they thought I was so crazily connected in this game and I knew a million people and I was so connected. The only person in this game that I knew before coming into this game was Grace. That is it. So I would just like to let you know that it really was shitty to be sitting there in the jury and knowing that not only was a narrative being spun about me that was completely false, but it was never actually brought up to me as a point of conversation of, hey, what's going on? Because I did feel like, and you stated you felt differently, but I felt like prior to me winning that HOH, we had a relationship. We talked, like you said, we talked at the start of the game. We pinpointed throughout the weeks, and I felt good with you. And I told you a few times where my head was at, like vote wise, game wise. So knowing that you were then plotting against me with something that you kind of made up just to further yourself.
Sorry.
No, you're
good.
good.
I was just gonna say, like, yes, I did push the narrative, but I had evidence as to why I thought that as well. That wasn't just from pregame speculation. I literally had
that.
Yeah. Trevor picked Crispy for veto. I saw you, Grace, and Crispy all team up on Molly to get her out of the balloon comp. I had Trevor save Grace with veto. Trevor saying that there was a 95% chance that he was going to take you off the block. I was always paying attention and made sure that I could keep note of stuff like this because I felt like there were groups that I wasn't a part of. And I felt like we had good conversations, but I did feel like you were a threat to my game. And as much as I wanted to trust you, I just didn't know really what your true intentions were. So I'll be honest, I had a big influence on the reason why you left. Molly and Robert Toria were ready to send home Ingrid, and I had to be on call with them for over an hour to get them to change their minds and do you, because I thought keeping you, Grace, and Trevor in would be a mistake.
Cool. I do just want to cut you off short just because I want to make sure that they have some time to answer their question as well. This also has to do with my eviction because there's not a lot of game that I was personally there for. I just want to know, Robertoria, where was your head at during my eviction? Because, or not Robertoria, Victoria, straight up. Because I felt like you were the person who I had a better relationship with out of the duo. And when we got on a call, when I was nominated, when that round was going on, you sat there and didn't say anything on mute while Robert and I had the entire conversation. So did you feel as though you didn't need to talk to me, or what was up with that?
Okay, thanks for your question. When I was in the conversation, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a very socially awkward person. So when you guys were talking, I felt like it was hard for me to like add my voice to it. But I also want to talk about how, because Ingrid had said something about how I haven't really said anything and how Robert's been more of the spokesperson, and he was, because like when we united as Robertoria, I told him flat out, I cannot really manage this game right now. I told him I can't deal with that because my dad died and I just couldn't deal with it right now. And I just wanted him to take control of that, because I took a step back, but that doesn't mean I wasn't a part of the game. I still talked to him. We always made decisions together. And I'm sorry you felt like I wasn't there for you, because I did my best with what I had with the time that I had.
All right. Before I get kicked out, I didn't know about that. So all my love to you, babe. I'm here for you. I wish both of y'all luck. Keep answering these questions with honesty. The game is open right now. Good luck.
Bye, Adam. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Next up, we're bringing in Angela. Once she connects to audio. There we go. Welcome, Angela. You have 10 minutes. They will start when you start talking, and you'll get a 5-minute and a 1-minute warning in the Zoom chat.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I just want to congratulate you for making it this far. So proud of all of you. So we were in the Big Brother Disney house together for a few weeks, and things got crazy at times, and I felt like I was in like a movie. And every Disney movie has a hero and has a villain. So in this story, how do you think you were portrayed? Were you portrayed as a hero or a villain? Like, what's your take on that? So I'm going to start with Robert Toria. Tell me what you think. Whoever wants to start first.
Could I start first, Robert?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I feel like since we became one as a duo, I feel like his personality, I mean this as a compliment, I felt like he was able to have more of the villain role, whereas I had more of a hero role. I was doing my best to make sure people felt heard and to give them the empathy side, because they deserve to be heard and listened to. So I felt Robert gave more of the strategy and more of the like, I don't know, more of the, I don't know what the word is, but he gave more of that.
Yeah, I think Victoria, and to like do a parallel to a Pixar movie and to our Uzma Kappa Alliance, we joked that we were the two-headed monster in Uzma Kappa for obvious reasons, but I kind of felt like our game was very like Mike Wazowski and Sully in Monsters University. I kind of just like had it in my head how I wanted to play the game, and I struggle with this in my real life. I'm just not a super empathetic human being. And Victoria is a very empathetic person. So I felt like I did kind of take on the more like cut and dry, okay, this person's going, this person's going. And being partnered with Victoria was kind of like making me less villain, and I felt like almost more anti-hero, to quote our girl Taylor Swift. But I felt like that's kind of how we played the game. I think I brought more of the, this is the game, we have to do it. And Victoria was like, these are also human beings. Like, have empathy, have emotions, like let's grow. And so I do think, yeah, I think Victoria's right. I think she had a little bit more of the hero part and I had more of the villain part, but I would honestly just say anti-hero because I feel like we both started out on such rough terrain and then we joined together, resurrection, all of that. And I think we were able to really stick close with the people that we wanted to protect and we minimized the amount of promises we had to make because we didn't want to break, we didn't want to make promises with intentions to break them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Evan.
All right. Hi, Angela. I would say that when the game started, I definitely felt like a hero. And during the pre-jury phase, I didn't have a lot of high moments, but I still tried to stay positive and just get through a lot of those rounds. But when it came to the jury phase, I think I definitely became a lot more villainous when it came to moves that I had to make or things that I spread around or did behind the scenes. And I wanted to keep the face of a hero, but I do think that I definitely was perceived as a villain in the second half of the game.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Um, so something else that came up in the jury chat was how when people were on their way out that they got ghosted. And obviously I did not experience this the way that I went out, but for all those other people that got voted out and then got ghosted, what is maybe your reasoning for that? And I was told that everyone had did that at some point in the game. So whoever wants to start.
Yeah, I can take that one. I think for us, I feel like we maintain conversation with everyone, with the exception of Christy, if I can recall correctly. We were in the HOH position that round, but I do know that was like a chaotic day for me at work. I was like in office that day. So like when I'm work from home, the phone is there, but in office, the bosses are watching, right? And I wish that's the one that I wish I would have talked more about because that was someone I cared about on a personal level. But Victoria, like I'll let you, answer or keep me honest. If there's any others you felt like that we ghosted.
Yeah, I feel like we did our best not to ghost people because ghosting isn't really a nice thing to do. It's very immature. And even when I was a solo player and Michael S got evicted first and everyone was telling him that he was going to stay, I made sure to let him know that that wasn't the truth because that's like a really immature, childish thing to do. And if we did do that, I want to apologize in advance because that is disgusting behavior and I do not tolerate it.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, like we all know the position that Victoria and I have in this game. We both experienced it on live night. No one told me they were voting for me. It was 5 minutes, so I don't hold that against anyone. And it was our first live night. So on the second live night, when Grace was up there, we were the first ones to speak up with Grace because I wanted, I was like, I want to do what didn't happen to me. And granted, like it's 5 minutes, so it's hard, right, for everyone to tell you that they're evicting you, but yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Angela.
When it comes to ghosting, each round I was very adamant about keeping an open mind and I wanted to keep options open. The only nominee that I don't feel like I reached out with was Grace, but even then, like before the round started, I had talked to her and we had a deal that, if I were to win HOH, I wouldn't put her up. And that is something that I would have stuck to. But in the moment of when it came to votes, I didn't voice my opinion that I was voting her out, but it was so clear at that point. But even with people like Trevor, Crispy, like I was talking to them and it was always something that I considered because I didn't want to be set in stone on one decision. I think it's always important to look over your options and look at pros and cons because you really don't always know what's the best decision in the moment. And I felt like other people didn't want to do that as much, but I always tried to reach out to nominees and let them know that, if they do have an opportunity to save themselves, that I definitely could be a swing.
Okay. Okay, it for me. So I'll say good luck again. And I don't know who's up next. Molly? I think Molly's up.
Thanks, Angela. I hope everything's doing good for your family. We miss
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
Bye.
all the best.
Thank you, Angela. We're just waiting on Miss Molly to join. That is who's next.
You sweetheart. Yay. No,
You're all
I'm
doing
excited to see
great.
everyone.
Take a breath.
Thank you.
I know it's a scary, scary time, but you're doing great.
I'm gonna like have a normal bedtime after this game is over. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I'm gonna go back to bed at 9.
Hello, everyone. Am I connected to audio?
Yeah. Hi.
There's so much music going on right now. Sorry, oh my God, I'm gonna shut the door, but it's so loud.
This
You're
is
good, Molly.
this is so on brand.
Hello, you
You
guys.
have 10 minutes. Your 10 minutes will start when you start talking, and you'll get a 5-minute and a 1-minute warning.
Okay, cool. Hi guys. Miss you all. Love you guys. So proud of you all. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you guys. And so my question's a little different and a little fun. Props to Megan Farrell because she asked me this during my exit interview and I loved it. So my question for both of you, all of you, because there's 2 of you on one, I would like to know which Pixar movie do you think represented your game and why? And whoever wants to start can start.
Could I start?
Yeah, go for it.
I would say Inside Out because the lead character, she has struggles with her emotions, and she's struggling to fit in, and that's how I felt in the beginning of this game because I didn't really know anyone except for Lauren when the cast was revealed. So I just felt like very out of the loop, and in the movie when she was trying to leave her home, I guess that was like my eviction, and then when at the end where she gets that acceptance, that was like when Robert Toria was formed, and I was able to play this game with someone who's very nice, who cares about me and cares about the people that were in our alliance. And yeah, I just felt like a happy ending.
Nice. Robert, add more.
Yeah. I think the pre-Robert Toria, I felt like my game was kind of like, I hate those Pixar movies, but I'm still gonna use it, and this is why Arlo from The Good Dinosaur, because I thought just nothing was going right. Like Arlo just always has bad days, and it's funny that that's like the Pixar movie I dislike the most. And I was like, wow, I actually relate to that a lot when you asked that question. I felt like things just weren't going right. And then, like I said, I said it earlier and with Angela, but I felt like Mike and Solly from Monsters University described Robert Toria really well. Just because I felt like I was kind of more of the Sully, like the taller of the two, but kind of just like that was a little bit more like, oh, like I got this, like this is what we need to do. These are the steps we need to make. And then I feel like Victoria was always kind of like the heart of all of this. Like I definitely have enjoyed everyone I played this game with, but Victoria would always, whenever we go on calls with people or decide, Victoria would always be like, yes, this is the strategic move we should make, but empathetically, emotionally, is this the right decision? And that's what I liked. And that's what I kind of see in her with the Mike Wazowski. So much heart in such a small person. And really just kind of like help balance out, the big, tall, scary person. Not that I think I'm like scary or anything, but I am tall.
Sorry.
Scary.
And to quote on the last season of Big Brother, I feel like I was the heart and Robert was the sword.
Oh, thanks, Victoria.
That reference went right over my head, but I appreciate it.
Mine too. I was trying to be polite. No, I don't understand it either, but thank you, Victoria.
Yes. Evan?
I would say up. I think the beginning of the game I lost a lot of friends, and we know how the beginning of that movie goes, but it always, no matter where I was, felt like an upward battle and just a journey to get to where I am. And I feel like I made so many connections along the way and started out with none. And I feel like by the end of the game, I am leaving with so many great connections that I'm sure will carry with me. And I think that, yeah, just it's a good representation of what I had to do to get here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I love you all, and you're all killing it. Keep killing it. That's all I got. Bye, guys. Do I just leave the meeting now?
The most iconic
Take me
player.
out of here. All right. Love y'all.
Bye,
Bye.
Molly. Thank you. Love
Love
you.
you.
See you.
She really cut the camera at 4 minutes.
She said,
You
I
know,
got a party to go to.
I'm sending them the Zoom link when the person before them gets the 5-minute warning, but when they don't even make it to the 5-minute warning, and I'm sitting here scrambling.
You're being great, sweaties.
Oh, sweaties.
Not sweaties. Just waiting on the juror. There we go. Welcome in, Rose. Hello, Rose. Welcome. You have 10 minutes. It starts when you start talking, and you'll get a 5 and a 1-minute warning in the Zoom chat.
Okay. How's my audio?
Good.
Good.
Okay. I got a new headset, by the way. Yeah, so congratulations, all that. I have a few things I want to ask, so I want to just move this along. First of all, I have, let me pull up the list here. Okay. So I have another thing where I'm going to ask you to close your eyes again. And I'm going to list every juror in the order that they were evicted. And I want you to raise your hand if you think you could beat them if they were sitting next to you at final 2. Okay. Are we clear on the rules of this?
Yes.
We good? Okay. So please close your eyes. Adam. Trevor. Crispy. Angela. Grace. Andrew. Molly. Ingrid. Myself. Open your eyes. I have to say I'm a little disappointed because I didn't see a lot of confidence there. I didn't see, like, there were lots of times when no one raised their hand. And so, going out, I told you I would never forgive you if you didn't fight for it. And as of right now, I'm a little disappointed in you guys, okay? But we're gonna move on from that, okay? I did notice one thing. Let's see. Evan, were you raising your hand for Molly?
Like half-ish. Yeah. I think that I did have a
Half-ish.
chance. Yeah.
Half-ish, okay. All right. So another question I have. Evan, I'm going to read you a message that you sent me when we were in Final 3. Something that rubbed me a little the wrong way, and I just want to get a little bit of, I just want to get an answer from this, okay?
Okay.
Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so here was the message that you sent me. This was after the cup comp, okay?
Okay.
Oh my God, don't worry about it. I totally understand. We were in it forever. You did amazing too. I gained so much respect for you as a competitor. That was awesome. Can you see why this rubbed me the wrong way a little?
Can you reiterate like what part of it? Like maybe the respect for as a competitor or
That's exactly right. So when you say I gained so much respect for you as a competitor, does that mean you didn't respect me as a competitor before?
no, not at all. I knew that you were a big threat when it came to challenges, especially towards the end game. And I really meant no disrespect by that. What I meant was I expected it to be a tough challenge, and you just really impressed me with how much you gave it your all in that challenge. I did not expect it to go up to 6 cups. I couldn't even believe I was still in it. I really meant it in a sincere way of like, you just really impressed me, not in a way that I didn't have respect for you as a competitor, because I think you were the person that could have taken this game completely if you were to win the final HOH.
Okay. Just so you know, I didn't take it, like it rubbed me the wrong way, but I didn't take it that badly. I knew you probably didn't mean it that way, but I just want to tell you, like, just, be careful how you word things in the future. Like someone else might see it as an insult,
Yeah,
but
I apologize.
you're fine. You're fine. All right. And I think I still have some time, so I'm going to ask another question. I'll start with Robert Toria. This is a really important question. Like this could gain you my vote if you answer this well. Okay, so are you ready? If Evan was a sex toy, what kind would he be?
I feel like Victoria, I feel like you should answer it, but you wanted to answer at the same time.
I guess I can say something, then you can say something.
Please do.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to be honest, I've never been to like a sex store. Well, I never really like bought a sex toy. Okay, that's too much information. But I think if Evan was a sex toy, he'd be oh gosh, I feel so embarrassed, but I feel like he'd be from the sex toys that I know of, I think he'd be like, like wait, does candy toys, does that count as one? Like when you're edible underwear, does that count?
That counts.
Yeah, I guess he's edible. I guess it's edible underwear because he's very sweet and we kept each other's word for final 2. And yeah, I guess he's sweet, but he's also very revealing. I mean, this is a compliment, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry.
Robert, your turn.
I had something completely different. I think Evan would be an 8-inch dildo, and I think he would be a good time, and I think he would get. That's the toy. We're thinking from a Toy Story mindset. He's the Woody. He's the one that's in charge of all of them. He is Andy's mom, Woody.
Mm-hmm. Evan, same question. And I will let you choose whether you want to answer Robert and Victoria individually or Robert Toria as a unit.
I think they're such a unit, but at the same time, their personalities are so different. So I'm gonna say Victoria is one of those vibrators that has the designs on it. Like it's all cute, but it vibrates and radiates like good energy and it's a good time. And Robert, I would say, I don't think he's an 8-inch dildo, but I think he's like a double-edged one, so that like, extra pleasure, more fun, and he's also a good time, but he makes sure to hit all the sweet spots.
Perfect. All right, guys. So I think that's it for me. That was very important and will factor into my vote very much. So, bye guys. Congratulations again. And just so you know, I don't care that I was evicted. It was 100% the right choice. Bye guys.
Class act human. Thank you, Rose. Bye.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Rose. We love you.
Love you too. That wasn't very Disney, I know, but sorry.
No, I was gonna say we have strayed far away from the House of Mouse today, ladies, but
It's
when
it's
don't we?
Pixar. It's wild. You've seen the asses on those women.
Oh no, I literally just said to the jury chat, I said you should see the Robertoria prod chat if this scares you. Y'all are unhinged, but we are waiting on our next juror.
That was some Universal Studios behavior, ladies.
That was
City Walk after 10.
Pleasure. It was Pleasure Island before they shut it down.
I have to go. I don't know where I have to go, but I need to be somewhere else.
Oh no. John Farrell, I did not want to have to see that image again.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi, Crispy. Sorry, my Skype was covering it up and I was being scarred by the jury chat. Welcome to.
I don't know why you're
Finale.
scarred. It's a great place.
You have 10 minutes that will start when you start talking, and you'll get a 5-minute and a 1-minute warning in the Zoom chat.
Okay. So I'm a little bummed, and here's why. Because I was really hoping that whoever won Final 3 HOH just had such a bad read and chose to not evict Rose, and God damn you all. Rose is the only one I would have felt good about giving my vote to. So dang it. Now I really have to act like I need to decide. So I'm torn here because I feel like Robert, mostly, sorry, Victoria, I'm mostly going to direct this to Robert. That's nothing against you. It's just the circumstances. I feel like I was really close with you, Robert. And Evan, on the other side, I feel like we were close-ish. Like, we weren't like super allies, and we weren't number ones. Like, we were pals, I would say. We were pals. So it's kind of interesting the way that the night that I went out, I was extremely ghosted by Robert. And then I had Evan, who was talking to me, but everything he was saying to me was a bold-faced lie. So it was like, how do I just decide? Robert, I do want to point out, you said earlier in one of your answers that you didn't hold your eviction against anybody. That is a direct contradiction for what you told me as to one of the reasons why I was being nominated. You, word for word, did tell me as one of the reasons I was nominated, well, you also voted me out during live night. You did say that. So that does kind of contradict what you were saying. And yeah, it's just very interesting to me that's part of your strategy here. So I'm extremely torn. So what I look for to cast my vote is the social game. I don't give a fuck about comp wins. I don't really care about your strategy because like you could kind of BS that and I would just have to take your word for it. So I'm gonna focus on the social game. Mostly I'm gonna focus on the social game when it comes to me because this is my time. So I've prepared a little quiz that I would like to ask all of you. And I would like for Evan to answer first, and then Robert/Victoria, you guys can decide who wants to answer. I don't care who actually answers. And my vote will go to whoever gets the most questions right, because I truly am very torn. So are y'all ready? Okay, cool. First question, what is my favorite movie? And also, all of these answers are something that I have told each and every single one of you. I know that for a fact. So, what is my favorite movie?
Easy. Scream.
Okay. Robert Toria?
You want to go, Victoria, or do you want me to?
Oh, you could.
Yeah, I would say Scream. It was the Scream franchise as a whole. I can't tell you which exact one it is, but we did have conversations about how much you like the Scream franchise.
Okay. Second question, where do I live?
You live in Oregon, but you just moved there from Chicago a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, Portland, Oregon, but you moved from Chicago after living there for a while.
Okay. What do I do for work?
You want
Can
me
I
to go
answer
first
first?
this time?
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, you used to be a social worker, but now you work at a bookstore.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have said bookstore. I remember you were always late at comps, and there were a few times where we were talking about books, and I forget what comp it was, but there was something where like we needed a book, and you were like, "Why am I not here? Because I'm surrounded by them." But yeah, bookstore.
Paul's Bookstore, the largest independent bookstore in the country.
Okay. What did I study in school?
Social work, and you said that the burnout was real when we were talking about why you stopped being a social worker.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we really had a huge conversation about school. I wasn't sure. I don't remember much about the social work, but I remember us talking a lot about the bookstore, so I wouldn't know that one.
Okay. What is my alcoholic drink of choice?
Wine, specifically a red wine.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it was vodka, but I mean, yeah, that's what I go with. I drink a lot of wine too, though, so it very well could be that.
Okay. All right. So I have many tattoos all over my body from one specific video game franchise. What is that franchise? To be fair, I actually don't think I told any of you this one.
Isn't it like, I'm trying to remember the name of it, like Kingdom Hearts or something?
Okay.
I think Kingdom of Hearts. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Kingdom of Hearts.
It's something like that.
I want to say Final Fantasy just because we had so many conversations about that, but I feel like you would have told me that they were Final Fantasy tattoos. So I mean, honestly, I do not know that one.
Okay, that's fair. That was a bad question on my end. I will admit that. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'm still not really decided. But okay. I have one other question that I think it's something that came up from when I was hearing stuff in the jury. You can explain as much as you want or as little as you want. That's totally fine. I want all of you, and Robert and Victoria, I want you to answer separately because like I feel like maybe it might not be the same. You can't pick the person you're sitting, the other final two. If you had to pick somebody from the jury to be in the final two spot with you, who would it be?
I'll go. I would say Adam because I just heard, I remember having conversations with Andrew about how we felt that Adam wasn't very high on anyone's trust list besides maybe like very few people. So I would say if I had to pick somebody who I like think for sure I could beat, then that.
Okay. Robert?
Yeah, I would say Molly. Just the game. We don't have to go into detail, obviously, about it, but I felt like there was a lot of people who didn't know where I felt in the game, and that was one person who I felt like always had my back. And I think that our games were different enough that yes, she played a very comp heavy game, but not every juror votes based on comp wins. And I think that's someone A that I could beat, and B like have a nice run with.
Okay,
Yeah.
Victoria?
Yeah, I'd also say Molly, because I feel like from Robert, Toria, and Molly, we've both been very good strategists and winning comps. So I think it would have been like a fair playoff.
Okay.
Wait, was this like who you think you could beat or like who you would want to sit next to?
I phrased it as who you would want to sit next to. So
Okay.
however you choose to answer that is your decision.
Okay.
So, thank you
Well,
for indulging me. Oh, were you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
I was
you
just
off.
I just wanted to reiterate, like, I would want to sit next to somebody that I think I could beat.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, thank you all for your answers and for indulging me. I have 1 minute left. I'm gonna soak it all in because it's all about me right now. I hope that I can have conversations with all three of you because, not gonna lie, I felt a little icky on how I got the old ski-daddle, get out of here kind of vote. But congratulations, really. Like, I am jealous that I'm not there and y'all are. So you guys did something right where I did something wrong. I hope you guys are enjoying your evening. Thank you.
You too.
You too.
Good night.
Thanks, Crispy.
Thank you, Crispy. We love you. Waiting on our next juror. And there she is. Welcome, Grace. Are you here? Can you hear us? Oh, no, there we go. Hi,
Gotta get
Grace.
those-
Welcome.
Hello.
You
Okay,
have
when did
10 minutes. Your time will start when you start talking, and you'll get a 5-minute and a 1-minute warning in the Zoom chat.
Alrighty, so first of all, I want to say congrats to y'all for making the final two, parentheses 3. Y'all should be very proud of yourselves. This is a very proud moment. I'm done having my little sweet moment. Now it's time to ask y'all some questions. So I have a couple questions for each of y'all, and I'm going to ask one question to someone and then ask the other so so I can get as much as I can from each person with time. So Evan, I'm going to go to you first. I know this was come up earlier tonight, but you went around saying that there was a pre-made between myself, Adam, Trevor, Christy, and we're running around with that. And that's what got back to me, especially when I got into the jury. You were running with that. And I just want to let you know right now that I had not known Christy or Trevor personally before this game started. Adam, yes. The other two, no. My bonds with them were specifically in this game, and I made a bond with you as well. So I want to ask you, why should I give you my vote when you went around saying that, especially when I had a conversation opening up to you about how I come into these games playing an open mind, because that is something I did.
Yeah, so with that, the whole pregame thing, I used that as a way to push the narrative more. It wasn't like that really was what was going on. And I really just thought, pregame or not, that you all were either close or had something going on. And it was just based on stuff that happened in the game. I don't know if you were on earlier, but I saw Trevor pick Crispy for veto, and I saw you, Crispy, Adam completely dominate the balloon comp together and get everybody else out. You saved Trevor with veto. And I also, when Trevor was going to use the veto on Adam, there were just so many red flags and things that I queued together. And I felt like I had other close allies that I needed to protect to make sure that I would be set up going forward. So pushing that narrative was a way to protect myself. And if it wasn't a completely true narrative, I really was just playing the game. And I know that's not really how you were playing, because we did have conversations about that.
Okay, I will come back to you with my next question. Robert, Toria, I have a question for each of you, and I'm going to start out with Victoria. So from our perception, especially, and it was a conversation in the jury, and it's something I realized during the game,
to me, if you're playing, you guys were supposed to be playing as one person. And in my mind, I feel it should have been a 50-50 done effort between each of you. But I felt, and the other jury members can back me up on this, we felt we saw a lot more Robert than we did Victoria. So I want to ask Victoria, first of all, I want to ask you to prove us wrong. And second, what is a move you made on your own without Robert to help to benefit the both of you?
Yeah, thank you for your question. I know a lot of people have had this question, and I'm grateful that Ingrid and Adam brought it up. To reiterate what I've went through, I told, honestly, I was at the point of the game where I didn't want to, in all honesty, I didn't really want to continue it, but I decided to because, and I've talked to Robert about this, I didn't want to continue the game because I was going through so much in my personal life, and not to like name drop or anything, but like my dad died and then I was having family troubles and all of that. So I wanted to take a step back and let Robert take control, but that doesn't mean I wasn't a part of the game. When we did a vote, when we made our trust list, we did it together. I was always in the loop and I was always a part of the conversations. And I'm sorry that you guys didn't really get to see my gameplay, but it was just more of a bad timing situation, and we worked with what we could do, and yeah, and I guess the move I did do was when I was playing HOH from the first time, I was able to win the 2319 power, which allowed the HOH to play again, and I feel like that was all me, and Molly was able to play the HOH again, and she won it, and that was a huge benefit for us, especially for me, and I could proudly say like I own that, because if I didn't play the HOH, and yes, it was a bit of luck, but I also felt like it was destiny as well. And Molly got to play, she won, and we got to be safe for another week, which also helped us to help further us in the game. And now here we are, final two.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Evan. Evan, my next question for you is, why do you feel it's good jury management to tell me before the live night that you were going to be looking out for me? We both told each other that, and I want to let you know if I wanted to wait, you were not going on the block because of that reasoning. I want to let you know why that wasn't reciprocated, because you evicted me, and I asked before I left, tell me if I'm leaving. I want everybody to tell me, and I didn't get a peek from you.
Yeah, and as the game went on, that is something that I was vocal about regretting, that I didn't tell you how I was voting. But I was very sincere that if I were to win HOH, I was putting up Andrew and Rose. And I hope that holds some credibility, because that is what I did do the next round. But I saw you as such a big target that I felt like keeping you in could benefit me. And I also thought that I didn't want to be the one to have to target Robert, Toria, and Molly, or target Ingrid. I wanted somebody else in to make those moves for me, so I could still have secure relationships all around the board. So if I did win the HOH, you would not have gone up.
Okay, so Robert, my question for you is here. I'm gonna ask kind of similar to Evan. Why do you feel it's good jury management knowing that I'm getting ready to be evicted and you did not give, and I know you were the vocal one in this situation, and I want to ask you, you were the one who said it, when you went ahead and said, oh, I'm not using the veto, and like me and Ingrid could not even pitch for like a good 30 seconds or anything, knowing I was about to walk into that jury.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah, no, I agreed. I think Victoria and I took a longer time. We were deciding, do we veto you and see if we can get a big social threat up there, which would have probably been Andrew in that situation, or do we play it safe? And it was that was honestly just poor time management on our end. But I will say, going into that, and I'll be 100% honest, going into that veto comp, I wanted to win that veto because Molly was HOH. I knew that I knew that we were never going to be nominated, but I wanted to win that to keep her noms the same, to keep less blood on her hands, because she was, one of my closest alliance mates. But I agree with you. I wish that we were just quicker at deciding instead of taking, right, there's 5 minutes, but we should have known 30 seconds that we weren't going to use the veto. But the downside of the partnership is that I can't, like you guys said, I have to confirm with Victoria on moves. I can't just make all the moves.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to my last question I have, because I know I'm pretty sure I'm low on time. I want y'all to compliment me.
Yeah, can I go first?
No, can I?
Yeah.
Hey,
You can go. You can go
okay,
first, Evan.
fine.
You can
You
go
go
first.
first.
Evan can go first.
Well, I just want to reiterate the last question really quickly. You got 27 points in that veto comp, and I gave you 15. I could have tried to steal or misguide you, but I was upfront with you, and I gave you more than half of your points in that comp. So I hope you see that as I was looking out for you, because I thought that would give you the win. But I have always respected how relentlessly and just yourself that you are. I feel like you are such a standout, especially in a cast like this, and you bring such an energy that, like, you can't not give it attention. Like, it just, I really just respect anybody that can always 100% be true to themselves and not care what anybody thinks. That is something that I've always felt very in tune with me, is just always wanting to be myself. So I always have respected that about you.
Okay. It's less than a minute, so y'all hurry on the other.
Okay,
Go,
so to
Victoria.
be quick, I love that you love Beyonce, and I love that you're a hardworking woman. And as that song goes, she works hard for her money, and that's definitely you. And I love that you call yourself Grace Beyonce. It's a cute nickname, and I really hope you got those Beyonce tickets, because you deserve to have a good time.
Hopefully on the resale. You got this.
It's going to be the time for Grace. Grace, thank you so much. It has been nothing short of a pleasure, and we will see you in a little bit.
Okay. Bye, y'all. Good luck.
Hi,
Thanks,
Grace.
Grace.
Bye.
And with that, we are going to welcome in our final juror for the evening. Welcome in, Andrew. You have 10 minutes. Your time will start when you start talking, and you will get a 5-minute and a 1-minute warning in the Zoom chat.
All right. Well, hey y'all, how are you? I think it's been a fun night. I've, sitting in the jury for the last week and a half ish. It's been fun trying to pick people's brains about how they have perceived things going on in the game. As always, I tried to start a Zoom when I got there. I actually did have people join that one, so that was fun. Everyone has kind of stated their grievances. They stated they're positive and all that. And I will say that Trevor wasn't bullshitting. Like, I'm usually the person that comes in and says, everyone's bullshitting. They know who they're going to vote for. I can honestly say people actually do not know who they're going to vote for, which I think is both a testament to how y'all have played on both a positive and negative aspect, I should say. I spoke very highly of both of you and also very negatively of both of you. Both of you obviously includes all three. It's just, but I want to start with Victoria, because, I felt like for me, I had in the latter half of the game, I had a better personal relationship with you compared to the other two, being Evan and your partner, Robert. So, hearing that others may not have, I tried to say as much as possible, like, hey, I get it. I'm a person that has anxiety and all this other everyone knows about the shit that I was going through. And so, like, I appreciate the fact that one, you stuck with it. You owned up to the fact that, yeah, I had to pass it off to Robert sometimes because I'm going through shit. Fuck you guys. But also the fact that you would show up to stuff, and whether you wanted to be there or not. And there are other people in the game, myself, Angela, other people that were going through things that were still there when was required. So I think that's really cool. So Victoria, no matter how this goes, I just want you to know that I did feel like we were doing well, especially in the latter half of the game after we voted you out. I'm glad that people were able to bring up a lot of their qualms that they had with everyone, whether it was Rose's thing directed at Evan about what Evan had said to her, how people felt they were being treated going out of the game by the collective. But the three of you and Molly, I would say, I feel like a lot of people had continued to say, these people aren't talking to me, this, that, and the other. And I will say that both of y'all, the three of you, have all specified that y'all have all felt on the outs too. Now, whether that was true or not, who's to say? We'll find out afterwards. Obviously, the round that I went home, I was trying to antagonize you guys as much as possible. One, because it's fun, but two, hoping that, even if I was the one to go home, Rose would have separated herself enough from me that she would have made it to where you guys are at. It didn't happen that way. Obviously, I felt like most of what you guys were telling me in the last couple of days was a bunch of shit. I didn't take the time to listen to you guys' audio memos on the way out because I knew that it was just going to be a fake, personal relationships aside, I felt like it was going to be fake because I knew soon as live night was over, my time was done. And so the fact that I was talking to y'all and saying all this stuff and y'all kept saying, oh no, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh shucks, I can't believe it. It kind of annoyed me. And so I kind of used it to my ultimately disadvantage. But like I told all of you and Molly going out, there was no hard feelings towards any of you. You're all great people. And I valued my time getting to know all of you. Crispy kind of stole my fucking answer. Hi, Crispy. Or question. But I'll just kind of improvise a little bit. I'm going to ask you some personal questions about folks on the jury and just answer them. I'll ask 3 people each, and we'll kind of go from there. Does everyone understand what's happening? Yes. Okay. Evan, we'll start with you. Evan, how many languages does Rose's wife know?
5.
Okay. I'm not giving you yes or no, but okay. Evan, what part of New York does Angela live in? It's your number one, man. It's your number one.
I don't know. I smoke pot, Andrew. I don't know.
Okay.
I know. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I know. I feel like it was Upper New York. I don't remember the specific town. I knew she was from New York, but
okay. And third, we'll go with oh, I know. What city do I hate? I told you round 2.
I know. I remember you.
If you remembered this, we'd be all good.
I knew that. No, and I knew this question was coming because I remember that exact conversation. I don't know though.
If you
I'm
don't,
horrible
okay.
with town names.
It's fine. It's fine. It is New York City. So.
Oh, duh.
Robert, Victoria, I'll ask one individually and then a third one. Victoria, you already answered something about Crispy. Fucking Crispy, god damn it. What school did Grace graduate from, college-wise?
I think it was the University of Georgia because she's from Georgia. So I think that's it.
Okay. Robert. Who's my all-time Survivor crush? This is from our first conversation.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, Amanda Kimmel.
Okay. Once again, not saying right or wrong, but it's Hannah Shapiro. Robert and
I didn't watch
Victoria.
that season. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Robert and Victoria. What part of New York does Angela live in?
I think she lives in Staten Island or Long Island. I think it's that. I don't know, Robert, if you want to chime in.
I remember it. I remember when she added me. I remember she told me in New York, but I remember when she added me, I saw and it said, because it said she was originally from Italy, and I thought that was cool, but it was from Shirley, New York, because I was like, oh, like Shirley Temple, and that was my little mnemonic device.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all, all of you, congrats. It's been a wild time. I apologize if I hurt any of your feelings on the way out. I wasn't trying to. I was trying to keep it as end game malicious as possible. But yeah, I'm excited to see how the jury votes on this one, and hopefully we can have some fun awards or afterwards, no matter who wins. So I'll see you guys soon, and take care.
Bye, Andrew. Good seeing you.
All right, my dearies, that was your final juror. So you will each have 5 minutes for your closing statements, as was decided by the starting order. Evan, you will close first, and Robertoria, you will close us out for the evening. Evan, your 5 minutes will start when you start talking.
All right, so I talked about kind of my journey and my opening statement. So I'm going to take it back a little further. Coming in when I was interviewing this game, Prod asked me, they said, are you more of a social player, more of a physical player, or more of a strategic player? And the answer to that question is yes. I think I had such a good combination of social, strategic, and physical. I won 6 competitions in the season, and every time I had power, I was very calculated with my moves. For example, everybody told me that, or not everybody, but a lot of people in the game told me that nominating Andrew and Rose for Final 6 was a bad move. But I want to tell you why it wasn't. Because that move made me virtually untouchable up until the finale. Going into Final 5, I had a Final 2 with Molly, and I had a Final 2 with Ingrid, and I also was close with Robert Toria. So no matter who won HOH, even if it was Rose, if I was on the block, I was guaranteed to at least have 1 vote to stay, and that was only if Rose won. Regardless of who else would have won that round, I most likely wasn't going up. And that stayed in Final 4 too, when it was no matter who won veto, I was going to be safe because Ingrid wanted Robert Toria out, Robert Toria wanted Ingrid out. I literally had a plan to throw the competition because I just knew that I was so safe. And that just goes to show how strong my social game was in this game. I created a social web around myself with different connections on each side of me that virtually made it almost impossible to take me out at any point in the jury, which is why the only chance anybody had to take me out was week 2 when I was up against Lauren, and not a single person voted against me. I was strategic when I pushed narratives to get out different alliances and groups that I thought were threats to my game. It wasn't anything personal. I never made anything personal in this game. Everything was game related, and everything that I had to do to target those people were strictly to advance myself and keep the people that I knew I was good with, take them as far as I could, because I wanted to set myself up going into the end game that no matter what happened, I would be good. And to me, I think that is the most ideal combination of a player that you can have in this game. Any way you look at it, I respect you guys a lot, and no matter what happens tonight, I will be happy and will accept the result. But I want to represent this season so bad. It's been a wild ride, and I feel like I have really proven myself to just be the ultimate floater in this game. And it is something that I have been working on since round 3 when I lost my closest ally. Love you, Allie. But since then, I really was just paving the way for myself by branching out to almost every single person at different points. And before anybody caught on to it, it was too late. Once again, thank you guys for hearing me out. It's been crazy. Please vote for me. I gave it everything that I had. I really did.
All right. Robertoria, the floor is yours. Your 5 minutes
Yeah.
will start when you start talking.
Thank you. That's an awesome speech, Evan. That was really good. Yeah, I just the first like Victoria and I knew the optics going into us that I was kind of like the spokesperson, the face of it. And I'll just say like everything was truly 50-50. Any move I made as Robert Toria, I always consulted with Victoria first. I did have this like little speech prepared, but I think that it's best if I'm just gonna not to like scare you, Victoria, but I'm just gonna hand it over to you. And I think that this is your moment, and I think that you should be the one to put the final touches on this game.
Yes, thank you, Robert. Okay. Hello, members of the jury. Robert and I started as solo players. Unfortunately, we both got evicted during pre-jury, but we got a second chance and became one. Robert Toria is stronger than we were as solo players. We aligned ourselves with the right people. The alliance called Uzma Kappa, which included Molly, Rose, and Andrew. We were able to run the jury portion and not be seen as huge threats despite winning a few comps. Robert and I blended very well together. He was the comp beast, while I brought empathy to the house guests. While we navigated the game, we learned about each other's strengths and weaknesses and had the opportunity to redeem ourselves from our original endings. We found ourselves targeted a lot pre-jury, but we turned it around when we became one and were able to make it to the final two. If you want to reward a redemption underdog story, a game that represents resiliency, we ask that you vote for us to win this season of Big Brother Disney. Thank you, Robert Toria 2023.
That's so cute. Just reiterating what you said, sandwich it out. Like I said, it's been a crazy ride. This has been the craziest game I've ever been in, both, emotionally, all of that. Dark Cloud, we don't have to talk about that. But yeah, it's been great, and excited all the new people that we met, and excited to see how everyone votes. It should be a fun rest of the night. But wrap it up.
Thank you so much to our incredible final two. I once again, on record, am so proud of both of you, all three of you as individuals and both of you as players. It has been a crazy ride indeed, but I've loved getting to watch every moment of it. Your time is done. The game is now in the hands of the jury to decide who they believe represents Big Brother Disney Season 8 Pixar. So jurors, please submit your votes. You all may also use the links that you were sent to rejoin the Zoom call at this time once you have sent in your vote. So if you've sent in your vote, you are free to rejoin the Zoom at this time because we want to see all your lovely faces when we reveal the winner.
And exhale.
I just put my Invisalign back in because it mumbles my speech. Your speeches were so good, Evan. I was like, yes. I was like, go, Evan.
Thank you. I'm rooting for you guys too.
Yeah, and like I said, it's always fun to win, obviously, but it's nice where it's not like a do or die situation,
Yeah, definitely.
But glad to confirm that Rose is going to sweep the game. Glad that we have good perspective.
I know they said that. I'm like, damn. Well, I guess we were right about that. I mean, how could you not? Like, yeah.
Welcome back to the jury.
Do you want us to stay like off and everything?
No, you can come on camera. Do stay muted while we're doing the reveal, but we love to see all your faces.
I should do that.
Cheers,
I
everyone. I
need
was
more
playing along in
wine.
the drinking game, but with my sweet tea because I've had the worst hangover of my life today.
We're so proud of all y'all. Y'all are so hot as well. What the fuck?
No, literally. Again, thank you
guys
so
are
much to
so
all of
hot.
you.
So hot.
So it literally every single one of you put so much of your life and your energy and your spirit into this season. And I am so grateful to all of you jurors, pre-jury, finalists, everyone that had a hand in this season. I am very, very grateful because this has been a blast to watch. It's been a blast to host. And I'm always grateful to see a season with such a good finale. Like that was awesome all around on behalf of the jury and the finalists. Who are we missing?
I think Molly's joining now.
Okay. All righty. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the winner reveal for Big Brother Disney Season 8 Pixar. You have played how many days? Fraud? Somebody?
Too many.
Too many
40
days.
something.
True.
I believe today is day 40. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that today is day 40.
Oh, my
Slay.
dumbass changed it to finale day and not a number.
And I feel like I remember it being 39 the most recently. So 40 days. Good job, guys.
40 days in this game have all led up to this moment. Once again, thank you all for being a part of this season. And now let's find out who won it. So, first off, Adam has voted for Robert Toria. Rose has voted for Evan. Trevor has voted for Robert Toria. Ingrid has voted for Evan. Crispy has voted for Robert Toria. Molly has voted for Evan. Grace has voted for Robert Toria. Angela has voted for Evan. We are currently tied, and the deciding vote is Andrew's. Andrew's vote, and the winner of Big Brother Disney Season 8 Pixar is Robert Toria. Congratulations! And congratulations, Evan. You both, all three of you, both of you played incredible games. I could not be happier no matter how this ended, but congratulations, Robert Toria. The floor is yours if you want to say anything.
I just want to thank Evan. Like, we were truly talking. We were happy with either of us winning. I love that it's a 5-4. Every vote counted. Like, Evan, you're phenomenal. You've been such a fun person to play with. I just want to thank you for being here at the finals with us.
Yes, I want to thank you, Evan, too. And I really hope we can make music one day. And yeah.
That sounded sexual, Victoria.
No, not like that. I didn't mean it like that, like instrumental, like producing.
Wait, which sex toy was the answer? Oh, never mind.
You can all unmute. You can all celebrate. We're about to do awards. I think I'm going to hand that back over to Timmy for that one.
Oh my God, this
Yes,
is a BB Disney.
congrats.
This is a BB Disney first where two people are.
Yes, it sure is. We've never had a duo win a season before, but then again, we've also never had a duo. So
This is just like BB Canada. They literally never had a duo. Boom, they win. We're just better.
You know, all I have to say is, Robert, I took you out because you were a threat, and look at you, you just won the fucking game. So clearly someone made the right choice in targeting.
And I took Victoria out.
You guys knew. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. It's like I said, it was, I will say, like, winning is always fun, right? Everyone loves winning, but like my favorite thing, obviously meeting you all, but like just getting to play with Victoria was really great because we are two different people. She's someone I would never meet in my personal life. I live in Michigan. She lives in New Jersey. We walk different lives, and that's the biggest takeaway I always have in org. So it was kind of special to be able to share this with someone.
Well, Robert and Victoria, as somebody who was evicted from Big Brother Disney, came back and won the game. Super proud of you both. Super proud of you, Evan. And thank you guys for such an amazing season. We are going to cut the stream and